Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to take a look at a real classic, one that people have been getting wrong for, over 100 years now. We're talking about André Gide's Straight is the Gate.
Okay, so let's just jump right into the big central mystery of this book. I mean, really, this one question is the key to unlocking the whole thing. Here it is. So, most people pick this up and think, a tragic French love story. And yeah, it's heartbreaking. But what if it's not really a love story at all? That's what makes it so fascinating. It's actually a much deeper, more complex story about this devastating clash between human love and the pursuit of some kind of divine perfection. Right. So to even begin to unpack this puzzle, you have to meet the two people at the center of it all, Jérôme and his cousin Alissa. Their relationship, well, it's the engine that drives this entire story. So get this. They are childhood sweethearts. By all accounts, they are perfect for each other. And here's the kicker. There are no obstacles. This isn't Romeo and Juliet, no feuding families, no societal barriers. The entire problem, the whole conflict, comes from inside Alissa. Even though she loves Jérôme, she just relentlessly pushes him away. Okay, this next part is absolutely crucial. We have to talk about the title. Straight is the gate. It's not just some pretty poetic phrase. Nope. It comes straight from the Bible, and believe me, it is the master key to understanding Alyssa's entire way of thinking.
So what is this straight gate? Well, it's this idea of a really difficult, narrow path to salvation. It's the path of hardship and virtue. And you choose that path instead of the easy, wide road, the one filled with earthly pleasures like love and marriage. Because that one's supposed to lead to destruction. And for Alissa, this isn't just a metaphor. It becomes her life's mission.
And this passage, right here, this is what she gets completely obsessed with. She convinces herself that true holiness, real virtue, it can only be found by walking this incredibly lonely, difficult path. A path so narrow you start to realize there's really only room for one person on it. So what happens? Alissa refuses to commit, to actually build a life with Jérôme. And so their relationship is forced to develop in the only way it possibly can, through distance and through letters.
And what's fascinating is that they basically fall in love with these idealized, perfected versions of each other that they construct in their correspondence. They're sharing books, poetry, their deepest thoughts. They build this incredible love in their minds. But, and this is a big but, it's a love that just can't handle the messy reality of being together in the same room. I mean, look at this. It just perfectly sums up the whole paradox of their relationship. Alissa herself admits this heartbreaking truth in one of her letters. Their love, this perfect, idealized thing, it literally can't survive them being close. It needs distance just to exist. And Jérôme, well, he's a part of this too. He reveals in his own letters that his entire sense of who he is, his virtue, his goodness, it's all tied up in the idea of her. It's the striving for her love, not actually having her, that makes him feel like a better person. So all of this intellectual, distant love, it's all building towards something. It's leading to a turning point where Alyssa's abstract idea of holiness is going to demand a very, very real and devastating sacrifice. And we see the two possible paths laid out perfectly right there in the book through Alissa and her sister Juliette. See, Juliette, she chooses the wide bait. She gets married, has 5 kids, and finds this genuine earthly happiness. She lives the exact life of love and family that Alissa is so determined to reject. From the outside, Alyssa's actions just seem cruel, right? But in her head, they are completely logical steps on her path to sainthood. First, she delays their happiness, insisting they wait. Then, get this, she actually tries to push Jérôme towards her own sister. After that, she comes right out and says it. They weren't born for happiness, but for holiness. And finally, she even tries to make herself unattractive, to kill his love for her. It's just wild. And the final, heartbreaking piece of the puzzle, it only comes after she dies. Tragically, she dies young and all alone in a nursing home. It's only then that Jérôme finds her diary. And this is the moment where he and we finally understand the agonizing struggle that was going on inside her head the whole time. So what did the diary say? Well, it turns out it was never about a lack of love. Not at all.
In fact, she loved Jerome so desperately that she saw her love for him as a false idol, something competing with her love for God. Pushing him away was her way of torturing herself, of sacrificing the one thing she wanted most, all in this misguided quest for perfection. And in the end, well, her heart just gave out. The struggle was just too much.
Which begs the question, right? Why on earth would someone write a story that's so painful and so psychologically twisted? Well, as is so often the case, the answer lies in the author's own life. You see, Straight is the Gate is basically semi-autobiographical. André Gide was deeply in love with his own cousin, Madeleine, and just like in the book, she initially rejected him. Now, they did end up getting married, but their marriage was famously, well, a spiritual love. It was never consummated. And this conflict, this tore Gide apart his entire life, this battle between an idealized, pure love and his real human desires.
So, when you think about it, Jérôme and Alissa, they aren't just two characters. They're basically the two warring halves of Gide's own soul. You've got Jérôme, the devoted, earthly lover, and then you have Alissa, who represents that pull towards spiritual perfection and self-denial. The whole book is just this incredible, brilliant dramatization of his own internal struggle.
And all of this leaves us with the book's really haunting final question. Is the pursuit of a perfect ideal actually worth the price of real human happiness? I mean, Alissa sacrificed everything for her ideal, and all she found in the end was emptiness. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? When does a noble quest for virtue just become a destructive obsession? That's the question the book leaves you with. Thanks so much for joining me for this one.